Morning guys, and welcome to another video for Motorhome Retrofits. So all week Richard and I have been working on this beautiful motorhome. It's a 2021 Carthago. It's a C-line or a chic C-line, and it's been into us for our 360 HD camera system. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk around the van, just have a quick display and show you where we fitted the cameras, why and how, and then we can jump inside and show you the end result on the screen in the cabin. Motorhome we have in is different, mainly because of its size, its build, its value and everything else. Now in terms of where we fit the cameras, we'll always have to go for as middle of the van as we can, so we measure the length of the van. But we also have to think about accessibility, because you can't just fit a camera and think that you can hide the wire inside. It has to be well thought through. So here is the side camera on the driver's side on this vehicle, and it means that we can drill in through the side and then drop the cabling down through the vent side of it, back underneath the vehicle and in through. Now if we jump to the back of the van, this customer specifically said that at a later date he may want a bike carrier, which means that we couldn't fit the camera here because it's going to get in the way of the bikes, and also at a later date you may want to put a car on the back on a dolly or a trailer or something similar. So we've gone as high as we can. Now at the top above our camera is the factory camera. We can't hide the hole that's behind there because it's been routed out to make quite a big hole. So we have had to keep the existing camera but disconnect it and fit our camera nice and neat. But if I show you now in the window, Matthew will show you a nice image of what we've done there with our camera, and it does look nice and neat and as factory fitted as it can be. Right, now I'll pop round to the passenger side. The passenger camera, or the passenger side camera, is always a bit of a challenge for us. Not as much as the front, but still a challenge, because most of the vehicles that we work on seem to have the kitchen and living area on this side of the van. Now we have to fit the camera and navigate through cupboards and drop down coffee machines and the window and the kitchen area to get the cabling down through. So this by far takes one of the longest amounts for install time. But again, that's why you come to us, that's why you read the reviews, because we're very meticulous on how we do it. We do it properly to give you reassurance and value for money. So now we're going to jump to the front camera and show what Richard's done with his fabrication. So this Mercedes front end is becoming quite popular with the Heimers and the Carthago and another one as well. So because we've also done front parking sensors on a couple of these. Now this customer specifically said that how are we going to fit the front camera, because he didn't want a big bulbous just a bracket. So Richard has started off with a piece of alley, has cut it and bent it, undercoated it and sprayed it black, and then taken the wings off of the front camera here so that this bolts on beautifully. And we've even masticed down the bottom screws, and then the front screw or the top screws are hidden by the Mercedes badge. This is what we call a bespoke bracket. You won't find many companies that do it to the quality that we do, but again, this is most important. The camera has to be on the most outside edge for the front camera to work and for the 360 to talk to each other as 4 cameras. Anyway, we'll jump on in and then show you what it looks like inside. So every customer is different. This particular customer has gone for the full package, which means that this system that we have fitted is completely independent of the vehicle. It's hooked up to the leisure battery, which means that the keys are irrelevant. We don't need to worry about the system being on. If they are ever camping wild or pulled up in a car park or somewhere in the UK or anywhere in Europe, then it just means that they can have the system switched on and completely independent. So down here, if Matthew can see these, we've got 3 buttons or a couple of switches. This main one here is your power, and this will be independently fused and supplied from the leisure battery, and again mean that the keys have nothing to do with this system whatsoever. The other 2 buttons or switches here have independent features, and I'll show you that as well. The 10-inch monitor that we fit is an HD monitor with an HDMI lead, and we have removed the existing or factory fitted Carthago screen that was poorly placed and fitted this in a really nice, neat place. Now the customer can then, if he wants to, move it up or down, left or right, but we feel that it's in the really nice, clear position. Now what I will do is, just before we concentrate on the screen, is if I press the what we call the overview switch or the aerial switch, it's down here on the left hand side. Now this switch here will automatically give us a horizontal view of the motorhome from above, so a bird's eye view from above, full screen, because otherwise you really only got a 30% image here. And while that's absolutely fine whilst you're driving, it was something that we've tried to do as we've perfected this particular setup. So there it is, bird's eye view, full screen. The button on the right hand side of the system here is just a momentary switch. Now you press it and it changes the current view. So the default view is 30% overview or bird's eye, and always the rear camera is the default view. If I press the button, that now shows central bird's eye view and left indicator and right indicator, so the 2 side images. And if I press it again, that shows the front camera. Now you can see how clean and clear the front camera is, and also how far you can see, because the pickup truck that's in the distance here is probably about 25 feet away. So that's a really nice clear image, and it's perfect for the dash cam side of things, because of course all 4 of these cameras are being recorded on a hard drive for your security. Now if we do this again, defaults back to the rear image. So that's the 3 buttons down here. Now if I was to start the engine like so, let's just put the key in the right place. Let's start the engine, and what we can do is show you again, all of our 360s work in the same way, but if you haven't seen one of our videos before, then this is your first time getting used to what we do and what you get for your money. As soon as we are indicating left or right in the UK or on the right hand drive side, let's say you're driving in France, you can indicate right and you will immediately get your right view on that side. If you indicate left, on the main screen you will get the left hand side indicator like so, and when you stop it'll then revert back to your main screen. Now also on the main screen, just going to point to it now, on the right hand side you've got the red circle, which means that it's recording on your hard drive. You've also got the green satellite image, and the green satellite image means that it's GPS connected, so that it knows exactly where you are. But also the whole point of this system is that you can use the remote control and the operating guide to go back to a certain date frame and time frame. So if you would think that you were involved in a situation where somebody's cut you up, or you were in the wrong lane or something similar, then you can go back and you can watch the footage for all 4 cameras or one individual camera, which I have found particularly interesting when I was driving in France this year in the motorhome. So this is the 360 system. This has been perfected and we're constantly trying to improve it as much as we can. This is a great bit of kit. It's a 10-inch system with 4 1080 cameras, or 1080p cameras. They're HD cameras. You have to come down to Poole in Dorset for this to be fitted, and it takes 3 to 4 days to do, because we are all about attention to detail. We're very meticulous here. We like to do the job properly. So if you've got a vehicle, doesn't matter how big or small it is, and you would like something like this fitted, get in touch with us and we can then ask for some pictures and get a quote for you. The website is www.motorhomeretrofits.co.uk. Don't forget to like, subscribe, tell your friends and family, and as usual, thanks for watching.